Wake up, sleepyheads. It's party time.
1, 2, 3, 4! I don't care what you say, you find your own time. It's not my problem. Reason that you stupid doesn't mean a fucking thing to me. Take your reasons and drive all night. Alright. Never cared what you said, deaf, dumb, and blind. Money and your attitude, or gossip and your gratitude. And yeah, you're not my problem. I've got my problems. Go away, go away.
Today's episode is the 1986 cult classic Trick or Treat, not to be confused with the 2007 Michael Dougherty film Trick or Treat. If this high school looks familiar to you, it might be because you just saw it in my Blue Velvet episode. This is the same location in Wilmington, North Carolina, also used in Dream a Little Dream. Multiple schools used for one high school in this film. This is where Eddie is tearing away from school, and he goes and he jams off into this direction. Now obviously this fence wasn't there before, and this center divider, if you look in the shot, you can see the tree is actually in part of that center, but it was open. You could actually cross the street. There was still a divider, but it had an opening right here. And the camera pans this way, and you can actually see the sign in the shot, John Jones Hooper. He heads off in this direction. So now I'm at John T. Hoggart High School. This is the main school from the film. Almost all the interiors were done in here with the exception of the swimming pool and the gymnasium. Everything else was done inside this school. It looks like it's been completely renovated. I see there are new buildings. This one over here in particular wasn't there when they shot the film. My guess is there isn't going to be a lot left that looks like it did in the film. I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to use my smooth Hollywood talk, as my boy Nate the Crazy Italian would say, but I think I'm going to get shut down. Fortunately, there's windows looking into the library, although that looks like it's been renovated as well. I was able to get some shots of that. I'm going to hang out, talk to the principal, keep the fingers crossed. Might get denied on this one, but I'm here, giving it a shot. I highly doubt I'm going to get inside here, so at least I can get some shots of the library. After comparing this to the film, you can tell it's completely been remodeled. I think this is a new building, in fact. Look how much higher the ceilings are. That looks like new architecture. This is old school for sure. No pun intended, old school. Haha, I'm clever. Anyway, it was cool, at least I got to see it, to compare the two. Now let's head to the cafeteria. I've stumbled upon the cafeteria. I love that this school has a lot of windows. So looking through this window here into the cafeteria, you can tell that it has been updated, but it is pretty much the exact same layout. You can see those configurations on the ceiling. See those indentations up there? Those are still there, but just looks like a nice new modern cafeteria. And if you look into this corner here, it's over in that area that Ragman heads over to have a little chat with Tim. And he decides to show his nemesis a thing or two. And then he goes running through these two doors straight ahead there. Now you're going to see them down this hallway. As I look down this hallway, it's the second set of doors to the left. Now they run through that door and see the two black doors directly across from it. You can also see that water fountain. You'll see those here in just a second, right there. There they are. And then they head around the corner here, and they head down this hallway. I wish I could have got in there, but unfortunately, this is as good as it's going to get. But I did get into this part of the school, which was the part I wanted to see the most. This is where Ragman's locker was, and also where his buddy was sitting there admiring the handiwork of the cheerleaders and their beautiful banner. He really liked those. You see those water fountains there against the brick? You'll see people drinking from those water fountains and everything. right there, he's going to get a sip, and then Ragman's heading towards us, going to his locker in this direction. Now, the location of his locker, I believe, is the 5th locker from the end. So 5th locker from that corner right there. You'll see him go up to his locker here. And see that corner? You'll see his buddy lean up against it. See? So it's about 5 lockers in is where Ragman's lockers should have been. Now this machine shop or auto shop, whatever it was not shot at that school according to the janitor I spoke to. I showed him the scene and he said that definitely was not there. So this location is a bit of a mystery. So now we're at Tim's house. 733 Forest Hill. So his car was parked right here at the end of this driveway, where he tried to break in, realized it was unlocked. He then pedaled off on his moped in this direction, down this street here. In this beautiful North Carolina weather, it's starting to rain on me. How typical. I better get back to my car because it looks like it's about to start pouring. Awesome. See, this is the shit I've been dealing with all day. This is what I do for you people. My love of the art, my love of the films. I suffer the weather. Now this location, I couldn't find the exact spot because you can't really make out much across there, but I'm assuming this is probably somewhere on the Cape Fear River, right there in Wilmington where everything was shot. This looks like something along the coast of the Cape Fear River. And also on the Cape Fear River is the Cape Fear Bridge. This bridge is heavily featured in this film. Right here when the car is out of control and taking him on a ride. Now right here you see those water towers or tanks? That is on the side I'm filming from. I didn't know exactly which direction they were shooting from, but apparently they were shooting towards the side I'm standing on. I figured that out later. Now this bridge is a hydraulic bridge. That center rises up, letting ships pass underneath it. I never got to see it up. I'm not sure if it still works today. I believe it does, but I never saw it in action. But I did drive across it to get a better look of that location. Unfortunately, there is no walkway, so you can't walk across it. So I had to drive and film, which I don't recommend doing. Right here's some incredible special effects. That's some ILM stuff right there. Here it is. The Trick or Treat Bridge. Sorry if it's a little bumpy. I'm driving. Can't walk across this or I would have. Boom. There it was. Ragman comes driving down this alley, and that fire escape was dropped down there. Obviously, those little stairs were added later, or you couldn't drive a car down it. And when he comes out of this alley into the street, if you look closely, you'll notice the top of the marquee of the theater, the very same one they're in front of in the telephone booth, which is oddly enough missing in this shot. Obviously, this was a prop placed there for just this scene, and this scene only. So the fake phone booth would have been right here. And this would have been where the marquee from the old Bailey Theater was, because this is the old Bailey Theater. Now it's just a shell, but apparently they've kept it because it's historical. And then they head down in this direction. So Leslie and Ragman come running across this bridge here, which oddly enough is the same bridge used in Halloween Kills. coming from the park where Marion Chambers was killed. And they run in this direction here. Now, interesting thing about this is they go around this corner and make a right. They pass this house here. And go around this corner and head off running down this street, passing this house over here. The interesting thing is, if they had gone left, Ragman's house is really right here, but they show them coming from down there, run this way, and then it cuts to them running this direction. So, movie magic.
Oh no.
So they come running up and they hide behind this tree right here. And then suddenly Sammi busts through that window right there. They then run this direction, past this house, and then the police car pulls up pretty much where this car is parked. The cop then sees Sammi walking towards him. He walks down this driveway here and stands right about here where he electrocutes him and then laughs at him. So now we're in front of the Ragman's house. This is where his bedroom was supposed to be, up there. It was actually shot on a set at DEG Studios. But see, these are the windows that the light was shooting out of in the film. And we're supposed to believe that that's Ragman's bedroom. They did, however, film some of the interiors inside this house, like that stairway right there, this kitchen, the laundry area, and the front living room was all actually filmed inside this house. I was able to talk to the homeowner, who confirmed it with me, and I was able to look through the front door here when I spoke to her, and I could see all this inside, and it did match the film. However, she wanted to maintain her privacy, and I totally respect that. This is the front of the house again, and she is a crazy plant lady, apparently. But she was super nice, and I really appreciate the time she spent chatting with me. She did tell me she was surprised how many people to this day still stop by and ask about Trick or Treat. I love this scene here where Tim comes up. He was parked right there, walks up and confronts Ragman, and Ragman gets all evil on him. Makes flames and whatnot from the pumpkins. How cool would it be to put those pumpkins out on Halloween? Have fire coming out of it and stuff. I'd be like, whoa! Now here's where the car backs out and then goes down the street in reverse. I always wondered how they shot this. Did they actually shoot this driving in reverse, or did they drive forward and reverse the film? Because if they went backwards, that would have been really tough to get around that corner at that speed. Either way, it's a really cool effect. The house that was used as the interior of Roger's house is actually next door to Ragman's, and also next door to the house where Sammi Curr jumps out of the window. Take a look over Sammi Curr's shoulder here to the right. You'll see the front door. See those 8 windows? That's this door right here. That's the house in between the other 2. Now I'm standing across the street from Screen Gem Studios. This was also known as DEG Studios. Dino De Laurentiis owned this back in the day. Many great things were shot here. For this episode in particular, the interiors from Trick or Treat were also shot here. Ragman's bedroom, as well as the radio station, all shot here at DEG at the time. And now, Halloween Kills, all kinds of other stuff being shot here. It's pretty amazing. Just right across the street here. So there's really nothing to see. It's an empty warehouse, you know? I mean, the sets are built, they do their thing, move them out. It's just a big hangar is really all it is. But it's pretty cool to know that a lot of history was made right here in these buildings. Tom Jones Jr. was the construction coordinator on Trick or Treat. It was actually his first feature film. He told me they built these sets here in DEG Studios. That bathroom, this was Sammi Curr's hotel room where he apparently died, and then Ragman's bedroom. Now, there's one thing that always bothered me about this scene. He's tearing down these rare posters. They're rare now, but there's one in particular that every time I watch this scene, I just go, no, right there. That is a Mylar Kiss Love Gun poster. That poster today, mint, is worth over $500. That one hurts. The interior of the radio station was also at DEG, but one location I was unable to locate was the exterior of the radio station, which he said was built out in the middle of a field somewhere next to a real radio tower. Now, when you look at this, you can pretty much tell, yeah, that's a fake facade. That's not a real building. But, you know, it would have been cool to find out exactly where it was. Who knows if that radio tower still exists? Maybe it's been replaced with a more modern one. Who knows? Here's the door Ragman comes through. There used to be I guess a ladder over here. I don't know if they put that in for the movie or not. But he climbs down right over here by this exit sign and starts walking in this direction. And there is the diving boards. See some of the other kids over here. So right here is where the gang is standing, confronting poor Ragman as he's standing here. Okay, I'm about to go down a rabbit hole on this girl right here. Her name is Elise Richards. She was featured in the Wasp music video Love Machine, which was directed by Halloween 2 director Rick Rosenthal, and even starred Halloween 2 actress Tawny Moyer, seen here rising up in bed. Now, Elise Richards had a very small part in this video. In fact, if you blink, you might miss it. Here it is right here. Let's see that again in slow-mo. Yep, that's her. Now, Wasp has a strange connection to this film. Not just the fact that she was in their music video, but Blackie Lawless was supposed to play Sammi Curr. He was offered the part, but turned it down because he didn't want to lip sync someone else's words. Completely understandable. I mean, he's a heavy metal singer. He should have been the guy actually singing. And personally, I think it would have been a great Sammi Curr. But another weird connection is, in this scene here, when Ragman goes to the radio station, there's a version of Scream Until You Like It playing on the radio. But it was a version by a band called Only Child that had been recorded in 1986. However, in 1987, Wasp re-recorded it for the soundtrack from the film Ghoulies 2. And then in 1988, Only Child's album came out with that original version on there, but by that time it was too late. Wasp had made that song a hit. Let's get back to the movie.
Lay off!
here. You can see these railing. And they throw him into the pool right here. So now I'm standing in front of the entrance to the big dance. This is one of several locations used for the high school. Sammi Curr's final performance inside this building here. Let's go take a look. He consoles his buddy sitting here on the steps, and then Ragman runs in to save the day.
Quick side note, did anybody else notice Billy Bob from Showbiz Pizza on the stretcher? WTF.
Heading in here. This is the gym where it all took place. So how frickin' amazing is this? This is Hanover Hall at the University of North Carolina, where the finale took place. Pretty much the finale. Yeah, it takes place at the radio station, all that, but you know, come on, this is pretty much it. So you can see over here, this is where they were all trying to get in and out. But these are the stairs they were running up and down, trying to make their escape and trying to get out this door. It's pretty crazy. Humpty Dumpty would have been sitting up here.
This is where Roger walks in by the staircase. This is also the same staircase that he watches Sammi Curr perform from later in the film. Roger was played by Glenn Morgan, who went on to be one of the writers of Final Destination, did X-Files, Millennium, directed the Willard and Black Christmas remakes. Pretty accomplished dude.
Unfortunately, this banner is blocking the seating. This is where the Frankensteins would have been, roughly here.
When Leslie decides she's had enough of the show, she then leaves through this door here by this staircase. And Tim, who's had a little too much to drink, decides he's gonna follow her. Bruh. Charles Martin Smith directed Trick or Treat, but he was also an actor. This is him playing the principal. He's best known for John Carpenter's Starman, American Graffiti playing Toad, Buddy Holly Story, and The Untouchables. Now this gentleman here, this is Kevin Yeager, special effects makeup artist. He was the makeup artist on Trick or Treat. He's also best known for creating Chucky, the Crypt Keeper, and some of the most popular and famous Freddy Krueger makeups.
So the stage was right here. When mayhem ensues, Sammi Curr starts blowing people away. So the stage is over here, but he ends up on this basketball hoop up here. We can tell that from, unfortunately, the basketball hoop is currently up, but see these markings here on the wall? You can see that round thing right there. And he swings across. Landing right about here where the sad clown is watching him. This is it. This is where the stage was. This is where Sammi Curr technically played his last concert ever. Right here. Pretty amazing. Hope you enjoyed this episode. And remember,
Death to false metal.
Hi, I'm Sean Clark. Today I'm standing in front of Ragman's house from the film Trick or Treat. Welcome to Horror's Hallowed Grounds. Spooky Crows.
This could kick you off into becoming an absolute pervert.